Ladies and gentlemen, game number... Wow, they are really fast with that ban. False stand, no questions asked. Goodbye, my friend. We have our draft starting, and it is, of course, the semi-final. We are currently looking at the first game between Virtus Pro and Fnatic, and keep in mind that here at the Spring Championship Qualifier, but the winner of this series is going to qualify directly for Katowice, so you only have to reach the final match. Therefore, the winner of the semi-final will advance. It's a best-of-3 series. We have Cursed Hollow as our map, and the teams, they are not kidding around. False set ban, boom, Thrall out of the picture, Zagara as a lockdown right away. Pretty much similar to what we've seen yesterday, even prioritized over the Kelthas. And yeah, for Thatcher myself, this is of course going to be a pretty great series to cast. I hope that you're going to enjoy it as well. And let's see what Virtus Pro is deciding to pick now with that first double pick in the game.
Yeah, and they have plenty of options here, even with the Thrall and the Falstad banned out. You saw Fnatic hovering over the Diablo during their ban phase. This is a very good chance that Virtus Pro could pick that up, bring it into their combo, and with Tyrande available, they could start off with that really good combo. But instead, they want the Bruiser with Thrall out the question. Sonya doesn't have too many heroes who will just duel her specifically. It takes a multiple hero effort to take her down.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, that ETC, for example, is just very symptomatic for the way that Fnatic has been drafting throughout the last few days. We've seen that yesterday, we've seen that the week before. They just value ETC very highly. Breeze usually on the hero. And as you already pointed out, Thatcher, Sonya, of course, here in play as Thrall is already banned out. He's usually a good counterpart against her. But right now, Virtus Pro, they can add a little bit more to that. And there's several ways how they could continue the draft now. They could add one of the frontliners, which would make a lot of sense. But they could at the same time also try to go, for example, into that Uther that we've seen a little bit more regularly yesterday at least, especially with Sonya, since you can add that Divine Shield. But then again, Fnatic is in a situation where they have a Zagara, so they can combo Diablo off together with ETC here if they want to. Virtus Pro have the opportunity to either ban him out or take him away at this point, so that this more into Apocalypse play cannot happen any longer. And that was actually like a very big theme in yesterday's matches for the Spring Championship Qualifier.
Yeah, and if Virtus Pro don't take a Diablo or something like that now, they do take the Tyrande to try and deny that maybe Diablo-Tyrande composition away. But the fact they didn't ban Diablo means that Fnatic could do exactly this and put more focus onto the warriors banning out Diablo, and they can pick up another warrior themselves for a 2-warrior comp and really limit the options of Virtus Pro.
It's really cool how this dynamic suddenly shifts. With Virtus Pro not picking Tyrande, it would have been all about Diablo on the side of Fnatic. But Virtus Pro taking Tyrande, and all of a sudden Diablo is a very good hero for Virtus Pro as well. So Fnatic makes the decision to not go into that combo potential with more Apocalypse, but then they know that if they don't take Diablo, there's always the threat of Tyrande using Diablo as the initiator or Muradin, so they ban out Diablo here. I suppose that Fnatic could pick up Muradin if they really wanted to, but it's pretty nice to see that dynamic shift, which team is going to pick or ban Diablo with just one hero suddenly entering the lineup there, so pretty cool to see that. And I mean, for Virtus Pro, we could see a Jaina ban actually, considering, but they seem to focus on that auto attack damage again, allowing Fnatic to get some burst damage after an ETC mosh pit or the Zagara Mo.
Yeah, so the Jaina would be very solid here, and Fnatic doing exactly what we predicted, picking up another warrior here, so, or at least hovering over one, to deny Virtus Pro a lot of the good options with Diablo banned, ETC chosen, and Muradin potentially chosen. Virtus Pro going to be a bit down on the list. There's still plenty of good options, Leoric, for example, Johanna, for example. Many solid options here, but Fnatic, they want the priority and what is picked, and they definitely want to deny that Muradin for a setup to Tyrande. And we're going to stick with the theme here. Quacknix, every single time we see them play today, has got that Greymane, and he's been on fire with it.
I'm loving the draft right now. Fnatic, they had the opportunity to ban Diablo or Muradin out and pick the other one. They deny everything that they can from Tyrande. They go for the Muradin after the ban on Diablo, so really a lot of counterplay against Virtus Pro's draft. And we've seen yesterday already how Greymane really just annihilated teams. Quacknix, like, absolutely exceptional on the hero. Positioning is everything here. Mana management and also, of course, trying to manage that low hit point pool is really important. And Fnatic's Greymane play was absolutely on top. And Virtus Pro, they are jumping in now. They need a frontliner. Johanna would be a very good alternative for them in this case now. They have, of course, a couple of options still left to them, but Johanna definitely the tankiest frontliner that they can add to their setup now. But I would say that they still need a little bit of damage here.
They could add a bit of damage and a bit of support to themselves with maybe a Tastar, but that would leave Kael'thas pretty much as their main range damage dealer, and they would be putting a huge amount of reliance on their Sonya to basically be getting in there and doing a lot of damage, which would make sense, seeing as Greymane is going to be getting all up in your business anyway. So Sonya is a good counter to that to re-engage onto him. do a bit of damage, and that is the Tassadar that they are hovering over. Good protection for the rest of the team, little bit of extra damage with the Storms, and a good amount of survivability for getting out of there, and the Force Wall, of course, versus Warriors. Very solid strategy, and Oracle for creep tumors.
I like it a lot. Tassadar and Tyrande have been a very strong composition, especially after Tyrande got a bit nerfed. She really loves to have a second utility support next to her, and having that Tassadar now in play allows, of course, to a bit of counterplay against the Gara. It allows for protection for Sonya, and it's just an amazing hero to take for them right now. Exactly what they need in this case. It's a very well-rounded composition that they're running here. But Fnatic, of course, now with that Karazim having a very strong front line to protect Greymane, and this is going to be a pretty sick game once again. So guys, game number 1, Cursed Hollow is the map. We're going to jump in right away to find out which of these two teams is going to take the lead in the series. The winner of the best of 3 series will advance to the offline finals in Katowice, and let's see which team is going to win here on Cursed Hollow. Game number 1, everybody, the semi-final Spring Championship action with Fnatic and Virtus Pro. The winner of this best of 3 series advances to the offline final in Katowice. And we have at this point to the left side Fnatic here on Cursed Hollow, the first map between the two teams with Breeze on ETC, Ethereal Angel on Muradin. We are seeing Smexy on Karazim, and once again Quacknix, the big bad wolf, on Greymane. He played the hero several times already, has an exceptional Greymane style, and we are going to see him here again today on him. Shrimpy on Zagara. And to the right side of the map, the Russian team. We are seeing Virtus Pro with Shefkaja on Kel'Thas, Neon on Tyrande, Power of Dream on Johanna, Lunan on Tassadar, and Toxical is playing Sonya here in this first game. It's going to be pretty exciting, and let's find out which team takes the lead here on Cursed Hollow, with coverage, of course, once again by Tetcha and myself.
Lunan coming very aggressively forward, getting some vision, and just poking down the tower and the gate and the wall already with his Side Storm, but obviously not going to be too aggressive. Starting talents. We see a bit of globness on the Tassadar with that Conjurer's Pursuit and the Mana Addict on Kel'Thas. Tyrande with the Owl build, going for that cooldown reduction that's just so popular these days. And on the side of Fnatic, very expected, from seeing as it's been the same talent every time on Quacknix, the perfect aim coming in from the Greymane, that mana reduction and increased range on his Gilnean Cocktail.
Yeah, the one thing that we could really see from Quacknix over the last few days here on his Greymane once again and riding the pleb horse is that he actually focused very highly on the cocktail. On level 4, 7 and 16 we usually see the cocktail talents for him taken, and the only exception is on level 13 really on the prowl when he's trying to get that extra chasing speed, especially in Worgen form there, of course. So it's something that has been a bit of a trend with his playstyle here, and especially the positioning of Quacknix during these fights is absolutely exceptional. He's very aggressive, jumping in, jumping out of fights the entire time, but keeping himself safe to make sure that he's not falling victim to a quick burst, since Greymane, of course, is rather on the squishy side.
Yeah, going quite aggressive there. Immediately got blinded by Power of Dream, though. Very nice, and another reason for picking that Johanna when against the Greymane. Getting that blind when he transforms into Worgen form is good. But the way Quacknix plays this just shows the way that Fnatic do work together as a team more than anything else, because you would not be able to play the way Quacknix plays on that Greymane with the aggressive jumping into the backline if you didn't have 100% trust in your support player. And Quacknix, he really does. Smexy pretty on point every time with Tassadar, with Karazim, every single time to keep Quacknix alive.
He had some very, very nice moves yesterday in particular. Smexy keeping just everybody alive on his Karazim, and today he plays the same hero once again. So we are going to be seeing some nice action for him as well. Virtus Pro then on the other hand, they are of course a pretty amazing support player here too. Lunan on his Tassadar this time. And a bit of a bait here actually, a little trap that we see from Quacknix and Breeze, trying to maybe take down one of those heroes, but so far nobody is falling for it. In the mid lane we have Karazim still going against Sonya, but over here it's a completely different ballgame now with Lunan escaping, trying to. Quacknix about to jump in. Power of Dream is already there with a quick condemn, and now Smexy was moving in as well. Another cocktail hits home, but nobody dying in this case.
1 second later, that might have actually been a kill of the shielding side. Pharaoh currently fighting Kel'Thas. Didn't take a favourable engagement, so has to back up. He does have Fountain available, so we'll be able to regen Breeze. But still playing aggressively, bullying away from this Bruiser camp, so that's going to leash. But they did already take down the Wizard, so that will take a bit less time to clear up.
On level 4 we have by now also the Drought Overflow as expected, the explosion length on the cocktail, very nice for harass and also of course for the extra siege damage that it can dish out on the hero. It's a little bit more typical these days to go for the Healing Ward on Karazim on level 4. We've seen still a lot of alternative talents, but the Healing Ward has become more popular than in the past. Not only on Karazim, we sometimes even see Tassadar adjust his build. Like the first tribute fight is already starting, and that's one of those occasions when a good placed Healing Ward can actually do very well.
Yeah, Greymane coming in from above currently was a 3 versus 3, but in comes Neon and Quacknix, making it a 4 versus 4. Lunon in the backline, but the Warriors literally just walking through, but a good engagement onto Greymane from the Kalefass, but Kalefass getting dived on, Greymane getting knocked up, and Sonya comes in for the kill, and that is first blood going over to Virtus Pro here. Nice job from a Fair Angel to keep himself alive though and prevent it from coming 2 kills, but the tribute will go over to Virtus Pro.
Yeah, they're channeling right now. The tribute has been claimed, and Greymane, the victim in the fight. You could really see that a lot of the Virtus Pro players actually focused on Greymane directly and made sure that he was always under a lot of pressure. He jumped in onto Kalefass, and that actually allowed him to jump away from the pressure too. The problem, of course, is that during all of the Shrimp, he was still at the top lane, so it was 4 versus 5 that Fnatic was fighting here the entire time, and that means that they now have a lot of extra experience that translates directly into the additional talent on level 7.
Yeah, talent advantage, a pretty big deal for Fnatic here, but with no tribute currently available, they won't be able to capitalize on it too much. Instead, we see both teams just going for their bruiser camps, but like I said, Shrimpy was still able to get a lot of XP in the top lane. Tyrande just arriving at the top lane to help clear up the minions, but that for taking even more damage.
Level 7 versus level 7 now, and next to the rest of the talents we have of course that Piercing Bolt now, the Lunar Blaze for Tyrande. Full Condemn build actually taken on the side of Johanna with Eternal Retaliation on level 4 and Conviction as the level 7 talent. The shields, really important here of course for Tacita, and even a little bit of self-sustain now on Sonya with the Ferocious Healing, still the standard talent on the hero, even though we've seen a lot more players starting to go into follow through once again to have a bit more extra damage on Sonya's auto attacks.
Yeah, and this seems to be rotations we go for a lot in terms of melee assassins a lot of the time, or bruisers, where they seem to rotate between going for a lot of extra damage with follow-through and stuff like that, and just a bit more sustain or survivability. It's just changes we see every now and again. The Virtus Pro right here, very, very strong. They're able to take control of the area, but are unable to grab the tribute. Yet a nice Skillian cocktail there from Greymane, delaying it even longer, but with Muradin nowhere near the fight, it looks like it's going to be a second tribute for Virtus Pro.
Second tribute, Muradin still soaking experience at the bot lane, and actually a very interesting fashion. He went for the XP, but he was hiding in the bush the entire time and therefore not visible on the minimap, and that resulted in Virtus Pro not really knowing if he would join the fight or not, so they had to play rather careful at this point, very cautious, and that did not allow them to go for the tribute as aggressively as you would usually do, and therefore it was a bit more time that Muradin had to soak experience in that bush at the bot lane.
Yeah, it's a strategy that we see quite often from Fnatic. Pushing onto Toxical right now. Spear does miss, so they're able to come out of that engagement with a little bit lower health, but he was at least able to push back Toxical. Sevka spotted in the bush there. Tribute spawning. Athera and Quacknix are not going to be able to get much down here. The question is how quickly they're going to rotate up to the top here.
They want to have level 10, and they are going to get it, so that means that we have an easy tribute now for Fnatic. Kalefass even falling at the bot lane. Oh, actually in the mid lane, I think here.
No, it was bot.
Wherever he died, bot lane, he apparently got killed there. And we have now the tribute started. We have, of course, now on level 10, go for the throat. Apparently the talent that also created the demise of Kalefass with Mosh Pit take and the Divine Palm. We're having the Zagara with the Maw and Avatar form for Muradin. So the first kill on the side of Fnatic, and they try to use now the level 10 ability to push in a few more towers. The entire strategy thus far was letting a couple of tributes go, get the experience lead, make sure that the opponent is not able to curse you, and then take towers and just secure that lead that you already have in EXP.
Yeah, they didn't just get towers, they were able to take the fort up in the top lane, which is what gave them that level 10 in the first place, and allowed, well, Greymane and Muradin to stay so long in the bot lane due to the fact that everyone was defending the top lane as opposed to rushing for that tribute on the side of Virtus Pro. They have the level 10s too now. We see the Phoenix on Kalefass, the Shadow Stalk on Tyrande, Blessed Shield on Johanna. We're not seeing that Falling Sword, unfortunately, again. Force Wall on Tacita, and the Wrath of the Berserker on the Sonya.
The more standard talents now, we have seen a lot of aggressive moves by Sonya players, and as you already mentioned, by ETCs as well in the recent past. Also Johanna with that Falling Sword that you pointed out. Blizzard is really eager to make sure that all of the heroes have now 2 viable heroic abilities, and they buffed a lot of the underused ones. And that put them back onto the table and made the decisions for the players a little bit more difficult now, what to go for on level 10. And of course, therefore, the strategies, like, just multiplied those, since we have a lot of backline jumping now again with Falling Sword, with Leap, and with a lot of other talents as well. So it's pretty cool to see that. It's another tribute on the map now, though, and the teams are getting ready for the next fight and potentially the curse against Fnatic.
Yeah, they already do a bit of harassment onto Sevka, but Sevka able to turn around now that his team is here. Smexy just grabbing the tribute here, but Power Dream prepared for that flashlight and will deny it for now, so both teams just going to posture around here. This is going to be the first 5-on-5 tribute fight, I'm pretty sure, where both teams hovering around. Power of Dream, though, going very aggressive. Bless Shield coming down. Quacknix focused again. The palm does activate thanks to the Owl.
The Owl, and we have the Maw trapping too. Quacknix is trying to go for the kill against Kel'Thas though. Well played here. Thero jumping in again, and so is Smexy. They're trying to go for the next kill here against Toxical, already locking him down. Quacknix is waiting for a chance to jump into. Breeze on the way, but the force wall of Tassadar is forcing them back for now. Great play here. The problem is that Tassadar is still in trouble.
Yeah, he's trying to get away, but Quacknix diving in the Morgan form, the 4-versus-1. They're able to grab the kill and the tribute, and that will bring the tribute count up to 2-2. But Fnatic still with a full level lead here. They can even go for their boss, and that is exactly what they're going to do.
They have the extra talent now, and that's going to help them with the boss as well, moving in right away. Groupie's now taken on level 13, as well as after Just Keep Rocking, of course. We have Thunderstrike, and as expected, on the prowl here for Greymane. After the cocktail talents with a perfect aim, the Drought Overflow and the Incendiary Elixir, he goes for on the prowl, and apparently Smexy, look at the balls on him here, waiting with the boss, even though it was already found out earlier, and they're going for an attack up at the top. They're waiting with the boss, and looks like Muradin might actually fall here. Thero is in trouble. Breeze is trying to help him out. Can use the face melt and is going to use that. And finally, Karazim is moving to the bot lane to take now a boss on their side as well.
Yeah, and Breeze coming in to save Athero, ends up getting himself killed. Athero might have actually just been able to get out of there on his own, but unfortunate timing there. They do lose Breeze, and now it is a full 5-man push coming in from Virtus Pro with the boss, whereas Fnatic, they've just left theirs in the bot lane.
Yeah, the bot lane is now starting to push. And I'm still wondering a little bit why exactly they left that boss, why they waited this long. I mean, oftentimes we see a couple of camps like taken if you're trying to get, for example, a tribute, and if you're trying to move in to get a curse. But if that curse really spawns, I guess they were waiting for the tribute and hoping thinking that it would spawn at the bottom. They had the talent lead, so I assume at that point they were just saying, hey, wait a little bit. If the tribute spawns now, I guess they didn't remember the time perfectly. If it spawns now, we have the extra talent and we can take curse plus boss and time that a little bit better. That's the only reason that I can come up with why you would actually wait with the cap here.
Smexy backing up here. I would have guessed that it was due to the fact they were trying to hide the fact they were doing boss because no owl came down and they were trying to bait.
They knew.
They knew? Okay,
there was an owl in by Tyrande earlier.
Okay, I didn't see the owl. Fair enough. Athero backing up here. The Flame Strike will prevent that, and he takes a little bit more damage. Both teams just doing for now. They are 5-versus-5 again, looking for the good engagement angle. Both teams with most of their heroics up. Cocktail coming in, blocked mostly by the Tassadar shield and Toxical at least, so not able to get too much damage done there. Breeze and Athero tanking up very heavily, but Sevka positioned perfectly to continue denying that tribute for as long as he needs to.
Yeah, it will be a cursed tribute, and the move against Kel'Thas. Everybody's jumping. Sevka way too far out. He is down a great more against 2. Quacknix jumping in again, trying to go for the kill. He is going to get Tassadar. Great kill by him, and the rest of the team is also eliminated. 4 kills against Virtus Pro, and now they don't even take the tribute. Instead, they move in for a camp first of all. And yeah, they were definitely waiting with that boss capture a bit earlier also to make sure that they could maybe get an easy curse against Virtus Pro. If they wait with a capture on the boss, the tribute appears on the map, they can then cap, and then there is a decision for Virtus Pro if they want to go for boss or if they want to go for tribute. So it's a loss-loss situation. As is, they end up in very much the same spot. They are cursed, they lost 4 heroes, and they lost also the keep at the bot lane. So Fnatic in a gigantic lead in this game now, especially since they already have now the level 16 talent.
Yeah, losing the keep before the curse even happens is devastating for Virtus Pro here, and Fnatic just taking full advantage of this, pushing very aggressively in the mid lane. Top lane's been left kind of unattended, but the fort's already dead there, and it would take Fnatic a bit of a risk to go up there without any minions, so they're focusing all of their efforts on this mid lane, pushing it in as best they can. But Breeze has taken a lot of damage already. Smexy, though, putting that to rest, just healing him up, slowly getting him back to fighting fit.
Yeah, 16 versus 14 still. Of course, that extra talent is still way out of reach for the team in red. Virtus Pro is in trouble here. And at the same time, we have now Muradin moving to the top lane already. Wall in the mid lane, nearly destroyed. Great pressure play here by Fnatic. 7 kills against 2 overall. And Virtus Pro, they are definitely in trouble here. And they know it too. They already rotate Sonya down to the bot lane to get a bit more experience and try to go for the level 16 talent. In the mid lane, Athero is pressuring a bit more. They're starting to go for camps. They control the map. They can take all the camps. There's 4 camps on the map, and they are focusing on the first one. There is, of course, still a big timer on the boss. It's going to be another minute and a half until we see the 2 bosses back in play. And they won't be able to wait for this long because there's only half a level that Virtus Pro now needs to hit level 16 as well.
Yeah, they're able to take a really nice position here. Our Fnatic taking control of the center of the map, and their top lane has managed to push up due to that curse. So next curse, they can either push down that mid lane or put some more pressure on that top lane, especially when the bosses respawn, which won't be too far away. Only 50 seconds left on the top one, which was actually technically captured first. So they are able to start this one without having to risk a Virtus Pro maybe sneaking to the bot lane and stealing their boss.
We have also pretty significant damage here overall. I mean, Zagara, of course, we're used to seeing her with a lot of damage against heroes, thanks to the Hydralisk in particular, and it's now 29,000, but we have 32,000 for Greymane, so once again showcasing that in terms of damage output, he is just an amazing hero. His siege damage also quite significant here, 70,000, not too bad, keeping up with Zagara here, and also with Johanna, which is pretty impressive. Level 16 talents are now also ready for Virtus Pro, and that allows them, of course, now to fight on even talents with Fnatic if they engage into a battle.
Yeah, Thera, realizing he was in a really bad spot there, decides to be back to base as opposed to trying to sneak past, and can rejoin up with his team in the mid lane, as there is very low chance the Virtus Pro will try and raid them in the mid lane. Instead, Virtus Pro hovering around the boss area, trying to see if Fnatic is sneaking it, and maybe to make a play themselves. Both teams posturing. The Oracle will see Fnatic and where they're positioned. The Power of Dream going very aggressively here. They want to do it while they have even talents.
Yeah, once again, the chain bombs, of course, going to be crucial here. We also had a couple of adjustments in the talents. Power of Dream, for example, as he was just mentioned, went into the Burning Rage to make sure that he can take down a few of those creep tumors off Zagara without having to use his abilities. We're seeing Ranger taken too, and Breeze is the first one who's getting hit by that owl, so that hurts quite a lot. We're having 18 versus 16 now in level, so a stat advantage for Fnatic. To the left side of the map, we are seeing Greymane, making sure that this wave is being eliminated. But there is another tribute now on the map, and Fnatic, they have to face the music, because Virtus Pro, they are starting to move in for this one. They want to fight now.
Yeah, and this is an incredible tribute location due to the fact whoever wins this, if they win the team fight to get it, then they're probably going to be able to go straight for boss Greymane with that Gildian cocktail there, with the buff on level 16, that concentrate blast, so it does even more damage, able to do a lot of poke every time he has his inner beast up. Only 400 without it, but it buffs even stronger when he has inner beast. Adero trying to position himself, does not hit Toxical there. Both teams for now posturing, neither one wanting to dive in, but Breeze taking quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, Breeze has to be careful, and so does the rest of the team. Still Kel'Thas with those chain bombs poking in whenever he can. The Phoenix is over though, and the teams are starting to move in. Bot lane is pushing, by the way, against the core of Virtus Pro. They have to be careful there. There's a big push going on, but at the same time they need to go for the tribute here. They want the curse against Fnatic. If they get that, that would be incredible. If they win this team fight, they can curse Fnatic. They can take the boss, and they might be able to snowball this out of the control of the blue team. Athera really low, needs to go away here. Shadowstalk used once again. Here comes the Flame Strike. Zefkasha with a quick Never Blast against Breeze, but is not able to lock the target down enough to get a kill.
I would like to point out that throughout all of this, Breeze has been incredibly patient with his heroic. Not popping it yet, he's waiting for the perfect one. With the Concentrate Blast, they can get a huge amount of AoE damage if he just lands it. And Quacknix has been getting some great upgraded Concentrate Blast, like that one, for example, able to do a huge amount of damage, over 700 with just that Q there. Nice stun onto Kel'Thas there, and there is the more. This could be the gate that they need, not even going for the tribute if they want the fight, but the Forceful does protect the players here. Power Dream, there's the mosh pit finally coming down immediately. Greymane tearing everyone to shreds. Sonya will live for now, but Fnatic destroying that fight.
Really nice healing ward in the back to keep everybody alive. Breeze with nearly a perfect mosh pit there, and they get a double kill thanks to it. They have Kel'Thas and also Johanna locked down, and those are of course the two most important heroes since they can drop you out of the mosh pit channel. Smexy is going for the tribute now finally over here, and Fnatic again aiming straight for the boss. Breeze being so patient with that mosh pit, and of course that's also a problem for Virtus Pro since they are waiting for it. They know that it's going to come into play eventually, so they have to keep a few of their stuns on cooldown to make sure that they can interrupt it. But Breeze, he has the patience, he sees the opportunity, darts in, and then the double kill. Level 19 versus 70 now, and boss number 1 already about to be claimed. Whereas we see up to the top lane, Virtus Pro with an attempt to get their own boss, but that's never going to happen, especially not with a Thera Angel around.
Yeah, their Angel hanging around trying to delay this for as long as possible. With only 3 heroes on this boss, they have to let leash because they know this is exactly where Fnatic will be going. And the fact is, Fnatic are able to do this due to the fact that Greymane and ETC actually did a hell of a lot of aggro juggling on that boss to try and share the damage out between them so that they could all be healed area of effect by Kharazim, as opposed for one of them having to go back like Breeze, having tanked all the damage. So instead, they're able to push as a group with this and delay that boss from the top lane. They are looking very strong now.
Fnatic wants to go for the kill here. They had so many options of what to do here, but they want to go for the kill against the core. The keep already at the bot lane was destroyed earlier. Blast shield initiation. They're starting to jump in. The Phoenix has already been deployed by Kalphas, and Breeze once again is directly on Luna, trying to push it back, eating that chain bomb damage on the other hand. Smexy jumping in, healing him, dashing away before it can spread, and they go for Toxic once again. Greymane dishing out all that damage. The Force Wall and the Nether Blast once again not hitting anything, but here comes that boss going straight for the core.
4 seconds on Mosh. Breeze could delay a lot of heroes with this. For now, he's just dancing around the core. Mosh is available. He could just dive in and Mosh everyone to prevent any extra damage come down, but it doesn't look like they need to because that is GG. And Fnatic will take game number 1 in this best of 3 series.
Great play here. The lead for Fnatic, and we're going to go straight into game number 2. Game number 2, everybody. Virtus Pro versus Fnatic. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map. And yes, as you can see right now, we're having, of course, Fnatic in the lead, and they ban out Thrall immediately once again. So we have a lot of back and forth between the two teams when it comes to the drafting. Especially the first draft, of course, was like super fast. They knew from the start what they wanted to ban out here and what they did not want to go up against. And it's interesting to me that Virtus Pro is actually going for a potential ban on Falstad as their first ban here.
Yeah, Falstad, a very interesting ban. He is a strong hero. Definitely not someone to be underestimated. On this map, though, his fly doesn't get a huge advantage. However, Mighty Gust can be used to really great effect due to the fact there's a lot of places you can push people into corners.
Yeah, and that Thrall is still in play, of course, or is still playing in the sense that he's being banned out early. We see that a lot happening. Zagara is usually the immediate next ban, and apparently Virtus Pro is completely willing to leave Zagara for Fnatic, and I could see that as a first pick. There's a couple of other first picks, of course, that Fnatic can run here, but especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen, we've seen a high focus on Zagara, and Virtus Pro, they switched over into a ban on Tassadar. Now that left Zagara and Kalthas open. We also know that Kalthas is of course great on the map since there's a lot of like fights happening in very close quarters, and when that happens, Chain Bomb give you a lot of damage, and Fnatic actually decides to go away from Zagara, which they have been prioritizing quite a bit on this map in particular, and go for Kalthas first, whereas Virtus Pro took the opportunity right away and said like, alright, we still have Zagara, let's get her.
Yeah, Zagara very strong, and with Tassadar banned, they've denied a lot of that removal of creep tumors. Fnatic, though, with Thrall out the question, and Tassadar too, that's a lot of the heroes that can really help counter Stitches. And if they take Falstad, they'll have taken most of them away, and that will put them in a very strong position. Stitches also, we've seen it many times, but prioritizing Stitches over an ETC is not a very Fnatic move usually.
Yeah, but with Stitches here on the map, I mean, it's great that you can always, of course, try and just like hook the targets that are attempting to turn in. It's a really nice hero that can also like create changes in the way that the game is being played super fast. And there is still the option to go for Tyrande, for example, as a follow-up stun. That's one of the things that they could do. That's probably like... Together with Tyrande would say that Kharazim, those are probably the best two healers with Stitches these days. Like in the old days when that combo already came up, it was more about like Uther and him trying to stun someone out, but now it's more about Tyrande or Kharazim. And Fnatic is afraid that Greymane is getting banned out, and that's why they actually pick him now. They're not really afraid that Virtus Pro is going to take the hero away, but they already know that with the track record that they have on Greymane, there's a good chance that one of the teams is eventually going to start banning Greymane out against them. And Fnatic, they don't want to risk it now. They're saying like, let's lock him down before the second bans come into play.
Pretty much no one else plays Greymane, but they still put priority as if someone's going to take it from them. I love it. The priorities are there. The thing is, like you said, if they can run with Tyrande, they can run with Uther, they can run with Kharazim. All of these supports will work, so they don't have to prioritize any of them, and they can leave everything else for working out what they need to counter against Virtus Pro. They can run it from there. There's the Kharazim ban. It's more than likely that Virtus Pro will pick Uther or Tyrande away from Fnatic here.
Yeah, Kharazim here immediately banned out. Once again, of course, a problem with the hook into the 7-sided strike. First of all, it looks like Fnatic is trying to limit the options of potential Tyrande combos. Diablo banned out. That helps, of course, also with the more Apocalypse. We've been talking over this a little bit during the last draft as well. That was also one of the reasons behind the bans that we've seen there. Diablo combos just with a variety of heroes these days quite nicely. You can use him with the Stitches, you can use him with the Muradin, you can go into a combo with Tyrande, with Zagara. So there's a lot that really works with it. Even with the Zeratul, we've seen that on the North American server and a few of those approaches also on Europe, where you go into a Void Prison and then try to combo the Apocalypse of the Void Prison instead of the Maw. It's a little bit more tricky, but it still works. And Virtus Pro, they indeed take the option to go for Tyrande. Also, of course, because they want to take the hero away from Fnatic now.
Yeah, so that really limits Fnatic's options for supports. Malfurion can still be used as the combo with the Stitches hook, and it looks like Virtus Pro are gonna take ETC away from Fnatic. Fnatic, okay with this though. Muradin still a very strong hero and also quite effective at helping clear up those creep tumors of Zagara.
Yeah, Muradin here as a follow-up stun after Stitches, that helps you a lot, and they don't go for a Charism, they look at an Uther right now. Of course, Uther taking that away from an ETC, I don't really think we see too many Tyrande and Uther combos these days. I've actually seen, I think, twice, mostly on other servers though, not so much on the European one, but Uther still combos very nicely with Stitches. We are going Muradin stun after Stitches hook into Kel'Thas Gravity Lapse into Uther stun, so that's a lot of lockdown that you have. And let's not forget that one of the problems that you have with Greymane is also that the hero is a little bit more on the squishy side, and therefore Uther can provide the Divine Shield to keep him alive there.
Yeah, the Divine Shield on Worgen Greymane, very effective, but it's what most people would gravitate towards in at least EuroLeague or anything, but it's so far something that Fnatic have yet to need. But Uther, him and Malfurion were the only options if they did want someone to follow up on that hook with some form of CC. With Charism removed, so no 7-sided strike for damage, and like we said, Tyrande already taken by Virtus Pro, who have gone for a very snipe-heavy composition with ETC, Tyrande, and Jaina.
Yeah, the idea for Virtus Pro is really to leave Zagara down at the bot lane, ideally just like control the lane, control the flow, and the rest of the team is just rotating between mid and top. Fnatic has a very heavy stun lockdown team as well, so I feel that battle between the two roaming squads is going to be super important right now to start this game off, and we all know that Tomb of the Spider Queen can snowball quite heavily if you control the early game. Virtus Pro versus Fnatic, game number 2 coming up. Now Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map, so guys, let's find out who's going to take it here in our second game in the semi-final of the Spring Championship Qualifier. The game is on, ladies and gentlemen, and we are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We have currently, to the left side of the map, Fnatic. Once again, they are in the lead here in the best of 3 series against Virtus Pro, and if they take Tomb of the Spider Queen, they would advance to the offline finals in Katowice. We have Breeze on Muradin, Smexy on Uther this time, Ethereal Angel on Stitches, Quacknix on Greymane, and Schwimpy on Kel'Thas. A lot of lockdown on the team after the potential Stitches hook, so a very dangerous composition that they are playing here. And to the right side of the map, it is Virtus Pro, the Russian team, down 1 game in the series with Sevkaja playing Jaina. We have Lunan on the support. He's playing Tyrande again, this time a solo Tyrande over the Tyrande Tassadar composition that we've seen in the last game. ETC, this time played by Power of Dream. We have Toxical on Sonya, and we are seeing Neon on Zagara. So the team here banking their hopes, of course, on Zagara at the bot lane. Once again, vision on the map and also pressure play against the structures. And at the same time, they have a very nice roaming squad there as well, with a lot of potential burst damage with Tyrande straight into that Jaina damage. The initiation probably coming from ETC. So both of the teams with a very solid setup here in the early game to dominate the rotation between the mid and the top lane. And one of these teams is going to be the victor here. And of course, the early game is on this map in particular extremely important. We have a bit of a break here as one of the players seems to have some connection problems. That of course allows us to talk a bit about the talent, and we are going to focus exactly on that. So Tetra and myself once again with the coverage here for you in game number 2 between these two top teams.
Yeah, and having a look at the talents, we are seeing the Jaina going with something a bit more traditional, like going back up a practice here, and that's the increased duration of chill. You would see that or the slow a lot of the times, as opposed to the mana regeneration from the Conjurer's Pursuit, which is kind of weird considering the map we are on. And on the other side, we're seeing the Stitches going for a very Dignitas style. Dignitas has been the one running this build almost constantly in that slam build on this map.
Yeah, right now we have Ethereal, Quacknix, Shrimpy, Breeze, and Smexy all in the mid lane. Nobody rotating away. They will put some pressure onto the mid lane tower, but that's about it. We're seeing down to the bottom of the map already Zagara setting up the creep tumors, which are going to make it a little bit more difficult to really gank her. And the rotation to the bot lane, not even happening yet. Stitches is starting to make his way slowly down to the bottom of the map. He has that extra damage on the slam, which is going to allow him to push Zagara, of course, back a little bit easier. And up to the top, we're currently seeing the entire team once again moving in the potential lockdown against Shrimpy, but a very nice move by him getting away here, and they're trying to turn it around against Toxical.
Quacknix trying to dive in, but the Razor Swipe was not long enough in range. He has to use his disengage. He is still slowed by Sevka, though, who has that increased duration. And there's the follow-up stun from Tirana. Can they get the extra damage? Blizzard finishes him off. Very nice play by Virtus Pro with the very long chase.
Yeah, very well played here. That was actually like a very smart move, and of course a bit of greed on the side of Fnatic, since, well, he wanted to chase down Sonya, and that didn't really work out, and in the end he died anyway. So yeah, for now we have the early kill for Virtus Pro. Pretty reminiscent of what we've seen in the last game. The team's of course now trying to start that rotation, the stacking process for a few of the heroes. Nice jump on Breeze, that was a close call. But so far it's actually Virtus Pro who starts to dominate that battle in the mid and top lane.
Yeah, they're getting their roaming squad off very effectively. Toxical even rolling straight into Breeze's range there just to make sure that he got that last gem that they weren't able to pick up on their first go-around. However, once again, like we said, they are clearing up very quickly. Fnatic, though, doing a good job with those flame strikes. They just have to play aggressive to get to those gems. We are seeing ETC knocked up. Breeze, though, taking a huge amount of counter damage from Sevka. They do have to back up. And another minion waves here, so they're having to split the lanes here as opposed to their 4-man roaming again.
And currently in the mid lane, again a bit of pressure down to the bottom of the map. We're seeing Zagara and Stitches still in that one-on-one fight. So far, the Ranger seems to do fairly well against Zagara here with that extra damage on the slam. He can just like push all of those Hydras and also, of course, the minion waves back. The turn-in attempt by Virtus Pro, one of the main reasons why you try to dominate the rotation between mid and top is, of course, that it allows you to control one of the turn-in points. And that is something that Virtus Pro is currently trying to use by turning in early and get the first Red Weaver wave. Level 4 talents now also in play for the two teams, and again the cocktail build for Greymane.
Yeah, the slam build for Stitches as well. Jaina taking the talent we pretty much always see on level 4, that increased Blizzard range with the Snowstorm. Radius with the Snowstorm, not the range. And everyone else pretty much sitting with the standard builds on all of their heroes. Protective Shield on the Uther. We sometimes used to see the extra range, but that got changed, seeing as Cleanse is now a lot more popular. Stitches, though, taken down Fax to the rope to the bot lane.
Yeah, Stitches down, but Breeze gets all of the gems at least, so that's a big relief here. That would have been a big problem if they lose all of those. But Sevka is trying to go for Shrimpy. Nice dodge on all of the stuns, but the problem is he can't dodge everything here. He did an amazing job dodging, first of all, the spear, then the stun, then also, of course, half of the damage from Jaina. But eventually, there's like nowhere to run anymore, so he goes down as well. And that's 3 kills against 0 now for Virtus Pro. They're really stepping it up in the second game.
Yeah, they're looking very, very strong here. Taking control of the map. They have a small XP lead. We just currently got them to level 6 first. And if they keep it up, we'll get them to level 7 first. And that's when they could try and make a play on the turning point.
Yeah, exactly, and they already turned in quite a fair amount of gems. We have them at 47, so with 3 more, and Sevka has exactly that amount. They could get the first Web Weaver wave and then start to snowball it a bit. An early level 7 would, of course, help as well. Turning completed at the bottom of the map, and they might go for Breeze here. Breeze actually getting rather low. ETC jumping in now too. Sevka has to be careful. He got already envenomed here, and Breeze! What? No, he dies, but they get all of the gems still. Breeze dying, but not really having that heavy impact that they were hoping for, since all of the gems got recovered quite nicely by the rest of his team.
Breeze actually dies at a Zagara auto-attack poison that she took on level 4. The most satisfying way to kill someone as Zagara. And with Web Weavers taken for Virtus Pro, they're putting pressure on all the lanes. Not going to all dive into one. They just have one person in bot. They had one person in top, but now they're going for a 4-man push in the mid lane.
Yeah, but we all, of course, know whose fault it really was that Breeze died here. Spexy's. Always the healer. Always the healer.
Yeah, that's how it works. Everyone's played Hero League. They are aware this works. Where was my heal on cooldown? I didn't know that, did I?
Did you announce that? No, you didn't. It's your fault that I died.
Look, if you don't announce that your heal's on cooldown every 10 seconds when it is on cooldown, then I'm gonna die, aren't I?
Jokes aside, we have now level 7 versus level 7 talents here, and it is again the last bite taken for Stitches with the Incendiary Elixir on Greymane. So once again, the cocktail build, we've seen it throughout the entire games that Fnatic has been playing. They went for the same build on Quacknix Greymane, and he is playing an exceptional hero here, of course, with a lot of damage output. But right now, we have also Endless Creep taken for Zagara for the extra vision on the map. It makes sense. You want to have the map control here, especially, of course, the vision over the 2 turn-in points. We've already seen how important that can be for Virtus Pro. They managed to turn in. They have now a 1-level lead, and they are aiming for turn-in number 2, which would allow them to snowball this even more. That's a lot what Tomb of the Spider Queen is about. Early game domination and then trying to snowball the match. It oftentimes works out if you're that good in the early game, and so far there's 0 kills for Fnatic, but they might make this the first one. Lunan is down, and kill number 1 for Fnatic in this game.
Yeah, and that's the kind of snipes they're wanting to get. They're actually going on to Sevka. Quacknix following up on Breeze. Very nice there. And immediately, Fnatic are catching up in kills. They do only have half of what Virtus Pro have, but they're catching up in XP, so they're not going to be too far behind in level 10s as opposed to being a full level behind than they were earlier.
Yeah, and they're also starting to turn in now, and that of course helps them quite nicely. They had 70 gems. They didn't lose too many earlier. They lost a couple of heroes, but most of the gems got recovered. Now they start to push in the towers even before the web weavers are here, thanks to the double kill that they got. That's of course amazing for them to start things off with. We have Quacknix at the bot lane right now doing his thing, and we're seeing them starting to move over towards the top lane at this point, starting to push this. But of course, Virtus Pro is meeting that rotation, and they have the earlier level 10, which is going to help them to defend against those.
Yeah, Fnatic are not too far behind with the level 10s, though. They found Jada, and Jada is not lasting long. She goes down for Power of Dream with that mosh pit, potentially, but decides against it. They were missing Jada, so didn't have the follow-up damage. Instead, they're going to move back and play on the defensive, but they were already able to take down that top web weaver.
The beauty of Stitches once again in play. They already got the first kill against Tyrande thanks to a great hook on Aethera Angel, and now they had a second one against Jaina. Great play here by Fnatic. They get those hooks in, very good positioning, and with this they are once again starting to take a slight lead in this game. But in comes Power of Dream. Here comes the... Oh, nice! The hook again, dropping him out of the mosh pit. Good attempt of ETC, but not successful. Zagara now down, but the fight's still not over.
They're getting chased down. He's caught in the Ring of Frost, but turns around to do his damage. They're able to take down ETC here. Toxical with a living bomb. Breeze with the chase. And there is the go for the throat mark on Toxical there, but they weren't able to chase it down, and they weren't able to get in range of that. So we do see Sonya get away.
Absolutely crazy that she's able to survive here. The Shadow Stalk comes into play at the right moment in time, the heal on Tyrande, and then of course we saw Mirrodin trying to follow it up but not able to bring in the finishing blow. The second Web Weaver wave on the other hand got now confirmed, and we have the blue team, we have Fnatic with another set of objectives barreling down the lanes in a few seconds. Quacknix at the bottom of the map is currently trying to push this lane in as much as he can. He's already at 19,000 damage, taking the top damage in the game once again, and we have him at still very solid 48,000 siege damage too.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job here. That Gilding Cocktail able to wipe out minion waves and heroes alike. And in comes Fnatic with another raid, protecting their second set of web weavers in the bot lane. Going to push in with this. Banelings just being blocked by Breeze and the mini spiders that the web weaver does spawn. And the Phoenix for extra zoning. Fnatic putting on a huge amount of pressure, considering that they were a full level behind earlier on. They have massively turned this around.
Yeah, we have now a lead in experience for Fnatic. They're still going through the structures here. The bot lane, the center of attention, but Mirrodin in the mid lane also trying to take a bit more XP for his team and bring them closer to 13. But the bot lane is, of course, where they're attempting to go even for another fort now. They're really starting to drop that low. The wraparound on the other hand with the Shadow Stalk, and here comes Virtus Pro. They want to go for the kills. Mirrodin has to follow it up. He needs to go to the bot lane to help out his teammates. Aethera Angel is trying to rush away. Does he get the Divine Shield? No, they don't need it at this point, but they go for the counter attack now. Breeze is once again with the team, and they're jumping in. Once again, Greymane with a Divine Shield. He goes for one kill. He gets the second. He drops now Jaina, and once again, Quacknix is jumping in. His Greymane is just absolutely insane, and he delivers the double kill for his team.
Yeah, and with a Divine Shield, that is even scarier. What is scarier than a Greymane in your backline? One that cannot die. Well, that's basically every Greymane played by Quacknix, no matter what support specs he is on. They're able to grab the kills, take that bottom four, and the Web Weaver in the top lane only just being killed here. And Breeze was supporting it a bit. He is having to back up, though. A little bit outnumbered, the rest of his team all being in the bot lane.
Kelth's not taking his 13 talent. Come on, dude. We know exactly what you're going to take.
Yeah,
Don't try to fool us here.
Oh, Flamethrower, really?
Oh my god, he's going for the chain bombs. Who would have thought?
That's never happened, Khaldor, in the history of Heroes. No one's done that.
Never happened before. Shrimpy, he's revolutionizing the entire genre. Yeah, Shrimpy trying to be mysterious, but if he really wanted to do that, he needed to pick a different hero here. Okay, of course, Kel'Thas goes for the chain bomb build here. We have at level 30 now also on the prowl, and once again, oh, Smexy! Smexy needs to be super careful. He does not have the Divine Shield ready. He's down, and that's a great pick for Virtus Pro, and potentially also the start of a bit of a mini comeback here, considering that they will hit level 13 talents any moment now.
That's not going to stop Fnatic hovering around here to try and 1, deny the turn-ins, and 2, to maybe pick up another kill. Athero with Bile down. He doesn't have a huge escape. Toxical, Jesus, the damage on the backline there. Ring of Frost catches no one. Good positioning from Fnatic there. Shrimpy, though, pulling very far back so he does not get picked off. Quacknix isn't done. He's chasing in, turning around onto Toxical in human form to try and kite. But Toxical is chasing Super D. Quacknix into Wall and he gets the kill.
And Breeze goes for Neon. Zagara is down. All those gems gone. Quacknix again with the kills. Like, he is going on a killing spree here. He's absolutely unstoppable, especially when supported by Uther. But even without it, he is a menace. Once again, the kills here by Greymane. And just incredible play by Quacknix. Very mobile on the hero here, of course. Jumping in, jumping out, always going for the kill. Literally for the throw at that point. And now we're having once again the pressure play at the bot lane with Breeze destroying structures and delivering level 16 into the hands of Fnatic.
Yeah, and we're going to see Breeze getting the hell out of there. Virtus Pro really wanted to pick him off there, using the Shadow Stalk and everything, just to try and make sure they pick him, but Breeze too smart for that. He is out of there and is rejoining up with his team. He knew they were back, he knew they might be coming for him, and he has 22 gems that he does definitely not want to lose.
Yeah, we're also seeing Quacknix, Mexi and Shrimpy again going for one of the camps where we see Virtus Pro trying to get some pressure on the lane. Uh-oh, wrong direction, my friend. Down goes ETC. He was trying to be sneaky, moving to the left. That didn't work out. Now it's 16 versus 14 in levels, and that's, of course, the opportunity that Fnatic was waiting for. They start to go in and drop keep number 1.
ETC, the only survivor from the last fight they had, he just dropped 21 gems being killed there, and that brought Virtus Pro down to 5. They managed to pick up another 9, but that's nowhere near enough for their next turn. And we're seeing Fnatic stay in groups, looking for the opportunity for more kills. Athero on the wall, the danger zone for Virtus Pro here. Look at them retreating very far back due to losing vision of Fnatic. They do not want to get that free hook.
And once again in damage, by the way, 37,000 damage against heroes on Quacknix's Greymane, 30,000 on Kel'Thas, and now again with the Shadow Stalk, we see the initiation here from Virtus Pro. They want to go for the kill. They are talent behind, but they go for it. They're rangeless. Nobody in range to heal him. No Divine Shield. Smexy too far out this time. The kill nearly. The kill against Seth. He gets her with a cocktail. Nearly eliminates her. Moves away, and then the cocktail drops her. Great play again. Once more Quacknix with a kill. 13 kills overall now against 7.
Yeah, great snipe from Quacknix there. Breeze transforming into that avatar for the tankiness. He was engaged by Toxical. Toxical now in full retreat. He does have that block up just for this situation. Able to pull back here. And Breeze having to retreat as his avatar will be running out of cooldown soon. Toxical still giving chase though. He does not have that extra movement speed on level 16 yet, as he's still over half a level away from it.
And they move back now. They don't really want to run into this poke with the chain bombs the entire time. There's just like too much potential for a turnaround on the side of Fnatic, especially, of course, with that extra talent that they're running here. The blue web weavers are descending now once again, as we saw again a turn-in from Breeze and Quacknix. They are on level 18 already. Virtus Pro, they first of all need the level 16 talent and then maybe can defend here. But they lost the first keep already. There's only 2 left. And this is, of course, something that Fnatic is now going to change to. They are attempting to go straight into the mid or top to drop the second keep in the game.
Yeah, they're hanging around in the mid lane. They are all grouped up. And look at them going around to the wall, but the Shadow Stalk engaged, not happening again. Even Quacknix able to spot them there and throw out a cocktail to zone them out. Stitch's hook will not land this time, but Breeze looking to set up the engage. They need to be careful though, because Moshpit is off cooldown. Doesn't matter if Paradream dies though, but he is able to escape.
Yeah, we have also now the first Web Weaver eliminated, so it was actually a very smart move that we saw from Virtus Pro, but they have to defend the top lane, and that is an opportunity that Fnatic takes to move into the middle and go for the keep again. The 16 talents are ready for Virtus Pro, but it doesn't help them. They need to defend 2 lanes, and they just can't do it. Once again, a keep is about to fall here. Here comes Virtus Pro, but they are low. Mosh pit attempt, and immediately the hook. Power of Dream just a little bit too trigger happy here on the heroic ability, but the lockdown against the 2 heroes. Divine Shield keeping it. Zero Angel Life, Breeze jumping away. A great combo from Virtus Pro, but so far without any results.
Quacknix diving in onto Toxical, unable to finish him off though, so they has to back up. They know they have the Divine Shield down. But yeah, the Avatar and the Divine Shield to keep. Oh, CTC hooked back in, power slide to get out. But to keep Stitches and Muradin alive there, Fnatic able to come out of that great engage with 0 deaths. Very well played, and they got that middle key.
Yeah, it's really impressive actually that nobody died. Not on the side of Virtus Pro, nor on the side of Fnatic, considering how many heroic abilities were committed to the battle. All of them actually. And so much focus there too. A great Divine Shield once again by Smexy. He's really keeping his teammates alive there. So far the only blunder that he had was a bit earlier when he did not go for Stitches and couldn't provide that Divine Shield in that save. But then again, a Zero Angel also moving away from the team, so made it a bit more difficult for the healer. Overall, great play from both of them. And now once more the turn-in attempt completely destroyed here. No chance for Virtus Pro to get a turn-in. It would only be the second turn-in for them. But Fnatic, they're already aiming for level 20 here. And of course, a kill on core or the last keep at the top lane.
Yeah, Fnatic just not having anything that Virtus Pro is trying here. Also, I'd like to point out, we actually have one hero who's finally been able to keep up with Greymane's damage here. We have Kalepass, only 2k less. There's the hook onto Toxical here. Toxical with that Nerves of Steel, though, able to keep himself alive. And in comes everyone. Smexy getting focused down. Divine Shield used onto the Kalepass to keep him alive here, but Smexy has to give his own life for it. Everyone else will get out, but at the cost of that Uther. Very nice engage from Virtus Pro there.
Yeah, actually that was really fascinating. First of all, the owl hit Stitches, so everybody on the side of Virtus Pro suddenly knows, oh my god, Stitches is there, he wants to hook. The first reaction of Lunan is to immediately move back. But then we see Sonya not moving back in time. That Stitches hook hits her. She didn't want that. It was definitely not voluntarily. But they turn it around and get a kill against Uther at the perfect time, just before level 20 is ready for Fnatic. And now they can go for the turn-in since they have one more hero on the map with even talents against their opponent. That allows them to get the Web Weavers in, maybe take a few structures down. And with that, they could start to really close this experience gap and just like get a little bit closer to level 20, because Fnatic will have the next talent ready in just a few seconds. But first of all, they are going for an attempted kill against the Zero Angel.
Breeze coming in for the start here. This is basically the last chance they had to fight before 20, but there is 20. Down goes the kill, and Power Dream taken out by the go for the throw. He's diving forward onto Sevka, and Sevka with the ice block that is purely delaying the inevitable. Down he goes to Quacknix, and Breeze, he's not done. He wants Neon. Neon will get behind his gate. Breeze just wrapping around here. It looks like they're just going for the core, and they're going to try and end the game.
The Hunter's blunderbuss has been taken there now too, and of course we saw Quacknix jumping in again for the damage, and yes, with the 5 versus 2 situation in the game, they're going straight for the core here. Breeze already attempting to drop Neo. He uses his stone form now as well. Great damage output that we of course see in particular on the side of Kalthas and Greymane. They go for the core now, they go even for Zagara, and they take her down. This, ladies and gentlemen, is game, and Fnatic, they qualify for the finals in Katowice. Quacknix with the last kill in the game before they make it happen. They drop the core, and this is a 2-0 victory of Fnatic versus Virtus Pro, and they will go to Katowice to play at the Spring Championship Finals. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Color TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.